Hello, my love. I am on my way to grab us some coffee.
So yeah, then I was just thinking to myself, like, I can't believe that we're doing this. Like, I can't believe that we're living on Carla. I was literally telling that exactly what I was gonna say. You know, I totally agree, but let me get
and I literally said we're
that burger
same person
that I left home 2 minutes ago.
Are you ready for us to keep talking?
Oh, you better be ready for us to keep talking.
Keep fucking talking.
Keep talking.
Hello. I feel like every time we should go higher in pitch. Like imagine. Hello.
Episode 160. No one can hear it.
Exactly. It's only the dogs. It's like 160. Ariana Grande has to come to the pod to record the hello. All the glasses just wouldn't be the first time. Not because of our singing, but because of our dishwasher. Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
that's life.
That's another story.
That's another story. What a day it has been.
Yeah. It started off with me feeling a bit weird.
Yeah.
And then I spilled my coffee everywhere. And I was like, trying not to cry. Being like, it's just coffee. It's okay. Don't worry about
How's
it.
your jacket doing? Now it's dry.
It's dry.
Yeah.
It smells like
yeah.
coffee.
I think we should put it in the dishwasher.
And then it can break.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. I mean, it's a nice smell. Do you want to smell it?
No.
It's just coffee.
Yeah, I know how coffee smells like, but you know that I can't smell on things. Like, I mean, skin is even worse for me. Smelling skin.
Do
like,
you ever smell skin?
Here's my perfume. Smell it. Yes. Oh, this lotion is nice. Smell it. I'm okay. And if I'm not close to them, I act as if I smell it.
Yeah.
I'm like, good. That's good. And they're like, I don't think so. I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry about that. I don't know. I think it's like, I don't know where it came from, but I just can't. My sister is the opposite. She smells on everything. She's obsessed with smells.
And then it's me that I don't smell anything.
Yeah, that's true. Literally. Like, I come somewhere and I'm like, wow, it really smells like XYZ. And you're like,
I can smell it. Literally,
I think it's me being extreme and you being on the lower end. So then it's just the mixture.
Like the balance. Yeah,
the balance. Anyways, the day we've had. The morning we've had. Yeah, the coffee.
The coffee.
The coffee. But then we started recording the episode.
Yeah. And then the camera was not working.
Let's pray that you guys are
seeing this. Please behave yourself.
Please.
Then
twice.
Yeah.
Like, it was not behaving twice. Like, we filmed. Then we were like, I was like, for some reason I feel like it's not filming. Like, that's when I was like, should we check?
And I have too much faith in technology.
I mean, normally me too, but this is...
But lately, it has... Let me check, actually. No, it's recording, okay. But the way we can see each other
but upside down. But then, maybe that's the way we actually are, because of gravity. And then, just the day continued to be a bit, not the vibes. Yeah. I think I said it to Carla earlier, I think I used up all my karma points with yesterday. Because I'm not gonna go into it, but my fucking phone got stolen. And then it dropped out of their pockets. Like, I was one of the victims of getting their phone snatched.
Pocket.
Yeah, for real. And it dropped out of their fucking pocket. Which is so dumb. Like, I'm so fucking grateful.
Yeah.
But if you plan to steal phones, then at least get the equipment to do it right. Like, how embarrassing for you. But
literally, that person probably went home and was like, I just made a fool of myself in front of this girl.
No, because I saw the two going, like, they were standing at the end of the street, and I was like, how, the audacity of them just standing there. But probably they were debating and checking where I was, if it makes sense for them to go back. But it didn't. Anyways, I think I used up all my karma points, and that's why today was a bit of a stretch, but we're back. And let's see, and if you see this, we made it. If you see this, we really fucking made it.
We will make it.
We will make it. It has been super sunny in London lately, and that is beautiful, because we appreciate that.
Yeah, the temperature, spring is springing now, thankfully.
It's gorgeous.
And yeah, we've been doing house parties. We've been enjoying ourselves.
Absolutely.
It's been really nice.
Yeah, and our neighbor has also enjoyed ourselves
Mm-hmm.
because we're friends now.
She loves us.
She's probably like, how are these bitches talking about it again? Like, because we're on the connecting wall, and I'm pretty sure that she can hear. Because I think the loophole is here. Because once I sat down here and I heard her sneeze through here.
Ooh.
So I think that she could hear us clearly right now. But I don't think that she's in. Yeah.
I hope she's not. No, it's too early still.
Yeah. Anyways, we made friends with her because she was knocking away to the beat of the drum of our fucking house party's music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then eventually we talked to her.
Yeah, I was like, we have to talk to her. Then we went out. We were like, no, we can't. So we went back in, but then we went back to her door because
she kept knocking.
Yeah, we were just scared that something bad was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So we had to make peace with her. She really enjoyed that. We went to talk to her.
Yeah, appreciated it. Joy is probably a bit.
Yeah,
intense.
of course.
She was like, that was actually my goal. Imagine.
Keep talking.
No, we invited her over, but she was like,
I'm too tired. I mean, she started knocking at 10:30. That's pretty early.
Yeah, which absolutely allowed, but yeah, because that's what I kept saying, like, but what are we gonna do talking to her, because she's in the right, like, especially because, I mean, to keep this short, but you guys know that she has been knocking all the time. Like, we are watching Traitors and we're not talking. I mean, that's a lie, we always talk, but like,
we were screaming.
Yeah, but also when we were not screaming, it was more the TV.
Yeah.
And she knocked, so we were like, wow, she's like a knack, like she's extreme.
Yeah.
But everything is fine now. She's coming over for dinner, and it was the bass, not the music. She was like, I'm okay with people talking, so it's not our fault, it's the fault of the friend who brought the speakers.
Exactly. So
do better.
You're not invited anymore. Thank you.
Wow, we don't need a speaker anymore. Anyways, that was also like a very positive situation that happened. And I think it's just a little sign to just be the bigger person and step out of your comfort zone and make sure everybody feels great, because life is too short to not have a house party and enjoy it, because we were not enjoying it.
No, we were not.
No.
At one point I was like, should we just like tell everyone to fuck off?
Yeah,
because
I
don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, literally. And we had the fullest house party we've ever had.
Oh
so
my god, so
that was
people.
also but it's so cool to cut. I keep saying to shorten this up, but I keep rambling. But we made a really fun game.
Yeah.
And it is just like, it was so nice playing games and everybody being involved and everybody participating. And this is also your PSA next to being the bigger person, to never grow up, because I think we forget how fun games are.
Yeah.
And I mean, we come up with these games on our own because it's too many people to play an actual game, including ice cubes and everything. So
what can you do about it?
What can you do?
You need some spice.
Always some ice.
You need some cold ice.
Cold ice.
Oh my god.
But my voice is so deep. Cold ice. Anyways, so yeah, never grow up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do grow up, because we need the conversation to continue. We need to keep talking.
Yeah, we cannot be 5-year-olds for that.
We're not Peter Pan.
No, we need to be a bit.
We're grown-ups. Yeah, we're adults. But that is actually also the topic of the episode. But before we dive in, we wanted to keep the conversation going from last time a bit longer, because it was so interesting to hear the other side.
Yeah.
Because obviously, we said that multiple times last time, we're not dragging down people in relationships.
No, we love that for you guys.
We love that. And that is exactly what we wanted to talk about in the episode, because we obviously are both coming from a perspective of being single and very much enjoying our position. But we wanted to raise the conversation because that doesn't mean that being in a relationship is something bad.
Not at all.
But sometimes it has that undertone. So that was the whole conversation. And it was so interesting hearing from
and
others.
Being single also has a negative undertone sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
But we loved hearing people in relationships talk about how they perceived our episode and made them think about how happy they are in their relationship.
Exactly.
And also what you said what you told me with the language that we use. It's so interesting how the words we choose to describe things that are not our own situation and the ones that we use for our own situation as well. Because I feel like, of course, we're not gonna say, oh my gosh, I'm miserable, I really want a boyfriend. We're gonna hype it up and say, look how cool it is to be single when you're 20 something.
Absolutely.
And maybe also that comparison that we're doing between being single and being in a relationship, we subconsciously try to not drag down but make being single sound more appealing because it's what we have. What we've been doing.
Exactly. And it's also like, it's, please don't understand this the wrong way, that we don't want to be single, but it's also like nobody can do anything about a situation. Like if you meet a person and fall in love and that was not in your plan, you were like, I want to be single and want to, I don't know, go on 30 dates in May, and then you meet that one person, that is not what you wanted in that moment, but you're just going to do it because you're in love. So I think no matter what situation you have to appreciate it, and that is like the biggest thing. But it was so interesting with the communication part, because we are communication girlies, so we obviously know how it is. But of course, like me saying, am I wasting my time in my 20s with just one person, even though right after that I said no, of course you're not wasting anything. But some would probably not even word it like that. So that is also like very interesting for me, because like it's like almost a learning curve for me as well.
Absolutely.
That maybe there is toxic positivity underlying the situation. Because is the grass greener on the other side? No.
No. It's not, but we pretend that it is.
Yeah. Or we think, but at the same time, the two of us don't. I think it's so interesting.
Yeah. I feel like really depends on the situation. But when it comes to relationships, I feel like we are very okay with what we're living at the moment. And is what you said, I'm not close to being in a relationship, but I'm not gonna throw myself into the arms of the first man that I see, because I don't need that.
Sorry about that. I don't know where that came from. No, absolutely. And I think it's very important to keep that conversation going, because it is so interesting to also analyze yourself and maybe like the impact your words can have on others. Because, and that is also what we were talking about in the last episode, like this juxtaposition, it's the pressure almost of like the question we raised, like, am I missing out if I am not single in my 20s? It's like you're only missing out if you feel like you're missing out, with which break up with your partner, because you shouldn't. And secondly, because maybe our generation or the other side makes it out to be something so amazing. So, but then there's also, if we think about your 30s, for example, where people get engaged, get married, get children and everything, the other side is the one pushing the perfect picture. And our side, the single side, may be the one of social pressure, being like, ooh,
this is not fun anymore. Now I need the stability, I need to commit to someone.
So I think that is also like so interesting, like now in your 20s, it's maybe our side being the one that pushes the fun side, but then obviously being in a relationship doesn't equal not having fun and not being free.
Of course. Of course. We want to make that clear as well, that we're, again, different episodes, same conversation. We're not dragging anyone down, and we love our friends that are in relationships, and we love everyone that are in relationships. So
absolutely, good for you guys.
Good for you.
And especially like we didn't get a single feedback of anyone saying that they didn't like the episode. Everybody was loving it, and that was like literally we're not trying to make right what we said wrong last time. We're just emphasizing the fact that even with this episode, because it is about a similar situation, kind of like continuing the conversation around not just relationships, but almost what I said earlier with your 20s being that like fun time, but are we pressuring ourselves to do that as well?
It's a hard topic, because when you're in your 20s, there's so many different situations you can be living. Not only where you are, like in sight, but also there's a big difference between people our age and us. Like there's people that are already working, there's people that are still in university doing their masters like us, there's people that are single and are not looking for a relationship, people that are in a like established relationship and are gonna get married, people that want babies. Like
it's crazy.
There's so many different situations, and it's so easy to compare yourself to what others are living.
Yeah.
And there's no answer to what you should be doing.
Yeah.
It's just something that you should be happy with.
It goes back to that comparison, and the grass is greener on the other side. And I've heard this once, which is like such a like basic thing to say, but it's like the grass is greener on the other side, but it's because they water it more. And it's like, you, of course, you are the person choosing your own path, and this is very obviously comes from a very easy way to put it, because you may not have the resources to do what you want right now, or there's things in your life going on that don't allow you to do certain choices. So obviously don't get this wrong of me just being like, do what you fucking want to do because you can, because I understand that and I appreciate that you can't always do that. Even if you think about our situation right now, we literally like are living our dream, but of course there's many ways that we could make our life at the moment.
Of course, we
better.
have to limit ourselves because financial stability is not our greatest strength at the moment, and that's okay.
I think it's just very important that we try to not compare ourselves as much as we normally do, because with social media and everything, it's so easy to compare yourself to unrealistic standards.
Literally.
Because of course social media is a highlight reel, and people who are big on social media, who we have access to, are there because they're overachievers, and they might have resources that you don't have in that moment. And normally you compare, or before social media, I mean, you always I think you will always compare yourself to others.
We've always had big figures.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like with social media, because we get such an intimate insight into the people's life, because if it was like back when there were like the big Hollywood stars and everything, they were Hollywood stars. Like, of course you were comparing yourself to them, but you couldn't compare your life to them. And now, because social media literally is organic, quote unquote, like the influencers try to be organic and everything, you have much more like possibilities to compare yourself in a negative way.
You're not creating an illusion of complete unexisting environment. It's actually their real lives. It's not their real lives, but that's what they're selling. Their lives, how cool everything is and how gorgeous I always look and everything. And I feel like for me it's easier to compare myself to people that I actually know in real life than people, because I think that I am able to like make this division in my brain that is not actually real. So I think that I really get imposter syndrome when it comes to people that I've spent time with, that are not really my friends. With my friends it also happens, but I feel like because of the connection that I have with them, and I know their weaknesses as well, I am able to stop myself from having like negative thoughts towards them. And also because I love celebrating when my friends achieve something. But when people that I kind of have a relationship with, but they're not that close to me, I think it's really easy for me to compare and be like, oh, this person is doing much better than I am doing. Like, I told you before, like, I love seeing my Instagram page. Like, I am my biggest fan. And,
I love that.
And it's so interesting how even myself, that I don't have a big audience, how I try to create this image of everything is incredible and everything is cool in my life, and we only post the highlights. Of course, I'm not gonna post myself crying in my bed feeling like shit.
No.
But then it's just like, you have to realize where you are and what you're doing, and of course you can sell the good parts of your life, but just be aware that it's not your actual life. Like, don't go to a point where you actually believe that the only thing that you have is the things that you post on social media.
Yeah.
Because there's so much more than that. And then the different types of lifestyles that people have, you cannot get all of them.
Yeah. I feel like, of course, like with you saying that you're not posting yourself on social media crying, because why would you? Because literally social media is created as a highlight reel. It's a digital diary that you're like, I had this really great moment, or I was really feeling great in that moment.
Yeah.
I want to share it with everybody and like share that experience. Like I think it's rather weird if a person is a person that has no audience or following, that they don't influence anybody, that they post like their raw emotions, because I feel like that is not something I would share with the world. Like, keep that to your friends. But I walk around smiling and I talk nicely to random strangers, so that is something I share with the world. But then these intimate thoughts, that's not something I share. But going back to the imposter syndrome / comparing yourself to others, I think it's so interesting because I think that our generation is very well educated on this whole social media situation, because we are the digital natives. And at the same time, people are like, they grew up with like social media, they are the ones suffering the most. But I think because of that, we know. But I think, or at least for me, I think that we act as if we don't compare ourselves to these people on social media, because we don't actively normally compare ourselves to these people on social media. But it's exactly like advertisement. Like how often I hear that people are like, I study advertisement, or I work in advertisement, I know the manipulations, I don't get influenced. Of course you do, because that is how it works.
Of course I do. I studied advertising for my BA, and I am the first person that lives in this capitalist system.
Absolutely.
So the fact that you understand it does not mean that you're not going to fall for it as
exactly well. So I think that it is not a comparison in the sense of I look at my phone and I look at this influencer in Miami who wakes up next to the beach and enjoys her acai bowl and think, I'm not like that, I'm such a loser. But it's the constant consumption of other people's life that subconsciously make you want to thrive more, which is a positive thing, but can get unhealthy. I think that is the underlying situation of comparison on social media. Not as much as comparing, and then you have your friends that, or your not your friends, but your circle around you that you actually compare yourself with. Because you know in your mind that these are the people that are on the same level as you.
They're reachable. That's what I was gonna say. Like, yes, of course, I feel like everyone compares themselves to like big stars, influencers on Instagram, but I feel like it's easier for us to draw the line and say this is not actually real, because these people work as influencers and they work for, like, they live for their image. But then if you see all that with people that you actually know, I feel like because you're in the same level and you relate to those people, that's when it can get unhealthier quicker, maybe. That's my point of view, at least.
And I think that goes down, if we go back to the topic of the episode, of this like pressure you have maybe in your 20s and the fact that everybody is living a different life, that you have to really be careful that the people that are living quote unquote the same life as you, like are in the same path as you, that you don't start seeing them as threats and they don't start acting as they're better than everybody else. Because I mean, if you think about, for example, studying a master, like we are much more surrounded by people that want to go into the same industry than ever before. So we are not competing, but we are all victims of this cycle of having to find a job after graduation and everything. And of course, if you are, let's say, the last one left that doesn't have a job, that is a shit feeling.
For sure.
And then like hearing your friends talk about how great their jobs are, or maybe even complain about how shit their jobs are, and you're like, wow, shut up, because I wish I had a job.
For sure.
It's like there are so many situations in life where you can't fully like be in charge of what's gonna happen. And I think it's very important that because there are so many ways of living your life in the 20s, that I'm not saying that you're not allowed to celebrate yourself, because even if there's a friend that didn't get a job, you're allowed to want them to celebrate with you.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just that with the aspect of like the pressure we put on ourselves in our 20s, it is very important to also share with at least with your friends, that life is not always greener on the other side, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And to be kind to other, like, no, but
it's like a beauty pageant. Like, I wish for world peace. Be kind, guys.
But be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind in the sense of celebrate yourself, but then it comes back to our episode with female friendships.
Yeah.
Like, but also understand that when you're not going through a good time, it does not mean that others are not allowed to celebrate what they're experiencing if it's great.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yes, of course, like, you need the support from your friends, but at the end of the day, we're selfish, and we are, like, I'm myself, you're yourself. If you're going through a shit time, I'm the first person that is going to be there for you. And if we have to cry for 24 hours straight, I will. But that does not mean that if I'm going through a good moment, I'm not going to like you to also appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then not even like professionally or in a relationship setting, but like in every aspect of life, there's so many things changing at the moment that it's so hard to not compare yourself, and it's so hard to know if this is the right path. But I feel like you just have to follow your gut and say, if this is what I want right now, and if my situation allows me to pursue this, then I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And like, sometimes your goal doesn't have to be the biggest in the world. Like, some people may be trying to reach the top and maybe just want to stay in the middle.
Yeah,
and
or win the trade test.
And if that works for you, that's perfectly fine. Like, we also have this pressure to be the best of the best every single day in every single aspect, and that...
But that's us.
I know.
Like,
I know.
I'm not
I'm talking to myself now.
Yeah, I'm not dragging anybody down, but I know for a fact that is us.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I literally wish that I would be okay with a mundane life. Because I'm like, what else do I need? Like, I see people on TikTok being like, my job does not define me, so I just pick a job that is chill, that is acceptable, that gives me a good income, where I get along with my coworkers. It's not the most fun in the world, but it is okay. Yeah. And then I leave and I'm not exhausted, and then I live. Yeah. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, are you dumb? Like, I could never. Yeah. And you're literally spending 40 hours plus of the week doing this one job, and you have so many passions in life. Like, why not turn them into a job? But then how easy must that be? Because then you literally just see it as like a thing that you have to do, that you not particularly love or obsess over, but you enjoy it. It's okay. And then you live your life not constantly craving for more.
Yeah.
But that's not the life we chose.
Yeah. and it's hard, because I think that it also comes to the last episode and this image that I have on, you have to be successful, you have to be independent, and you need to do everything for yourself. You don't need someone else to do anything for you. And then how could I settle for a job that I don't like?
Never.
Or not even that I don't like, but that
doesn't get me where I want to be.
Yeah.
Because I think it's either it is a helping hand that gets me to where I want to be, and it's shit at that time, or it's already good.
Yeah.
But there's no in between.
Literally. And I've had shit jobs.
Of course, same.
And but I was always like, but this is gonna help me reach my goal.
Yeah.
Like, it had to be part of my life.
The master plan.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm not gonna drag myself down for this job. And again, we're not saying that that there's jobs that you shouldn't be doing, because we literally need
every single one of you.
Every single one. And I've realized by doing jobs that I didn't enjoy that much how important every fucking person is.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the jobs that are most looked down on are the ones that are the most necessary in our fucking society.
Literally. So maybe we should be the ones learning.
No, I mean, we're doing a podcast, we're educating others. So you can do better. We don't have to do better. No, but we obviously we put this pressure on ourselves, and then it's like, are we
the problem?
No. That is never the answer. But I think it's also, and this is maybe controversial, but it's not. It's just, again, the same tonality I had last time, that is maybe a bit harsh, but to question our thoughts. Like, are we looking down at people who don't feel the same need to thrive? So we feel better about the fact that we bend over backwards and accept shit breakdowns because of too much stress to reach our dreams. Like, are we pushing ourselves up and making others feel bad about themselves because they don't feel like that?
Yeah, I think us specifically, myself, I glorify the pressure and the I have to thrive and I have to reach and get to the top.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a coping mechanism. Like, it's what you were saying. Like, if I don't think that this is going to make me the happiest, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because is it worth it?
Yeah.
So, wow.
It's intense.
Wow.
But I think also that for me, I think that I'm made for that. Like, I that is how I thrive.
Same.
And I've heard that feedback from jobs and from school and everything, and like have a problem with that. Obviously continuously gets a problem, but I never feel like I'm putting too much stress on myself. Never. And then, but because I don't think I do. Like, I don't think that I think my life could be so much more stressful, especially at the moment, like, because I'm studying and I'm living life on my own terms, but then maybe others do believe that this is stressful. So I think it's just like, every person is wired differently, and that is something that we all have to appreciate, because only because you don't feel like that doesn't mean that it's bad of me, and the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely.
People go different ways in their 20s. There's so much for exploration and everything, and it is very important that we try to not compare ourselves as much, just so we don't put pressures on others, because we all are the problem when it comes to having the feeling of having to overachieve. Same as we all are the problem making others feel less than because of their choices. Yeah, literally.
And I think even people that are not looking to overachieve, like, don't settle if it's not what you want. I feel like sometimes we are, like, our brains are structured for defeat.
Yeah.
And we cannot do that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, both extreme sides are dangerous.
Yeah.
So also love yourself and be like, I can do this for like, literally. I know I say this all the time, okay? But literally, like, try to get to the point where you want, because maybe yes, you enjoy the 4 to 9 job that you've been doing for 2 years, but is it really what you want? Maybe there's something else.
The 4 to 9?
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Maybe the 9 to 5.
Maybe it's 4 to 9. Who knows?
I think we just have to celebrate each other and check in with everybody if they might not be feeling great, but also be aware that you're allowed for you, like, to celebrate yourself.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And listen to Keep Talking.
This is the perfect segue into the end of the episode. listen to Keep Talking. Listen or watch.
Listen, watch, share, like, watch our...
Subscribe.
Yeah, watch our 50 seconds reels and TikToks. And look at us on TikTok fucking dancing. Who would have fun?
For real. TikTok is kind of popping off, but not fully, but kind of.
Yeah.
So you should definitely follow more and enjoy our dancing videos and our house party videos. You will definitely get more of the experience of the visual.
You need to get into the Keep Talking world, so you need to follow us everywhere.
Exactly.
Because Instagram you get podcasts, and then TikTok you get vibes.
Yeah.
Vibes from these girls.
Vibes. Pure vibes.
Pure fucking vibes.
So yeah, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode, even though I really don't know what this episode was.
It was a bit all over the place, but
yeah. It was, maybe you guys can make sense of it and give us some feedback again.
But I think it really reflects how we were feeling today.
That's true.
So
that is the perfect episode for your 20s, because that is exactly how the 20s feel. Like how you feel right now after listening to this episode is how everybody in their 20s feels.
Exactly.
Hopefully great about themselves.
Hopefully great and about us.
Because absolutely.
We know you love us.
We know you love us. XOXO. Keep talking.
Keep talking, girls.
Forever and always. Bye guys.
Love you.